Alrighty, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku, back with another video. A lot of news videos we got to be talking about when it comes to media and stuff like that and contents, because there's a lot of things to go over. I'm going to go with this one first, because this is the one everyone's talking about. There's actually an older one I want to talk about, too, going for football, but I'll get to that on another video. But we are going to go with the news that broke yesterday, and that is the ESPN WWE deal, which ESPN basically is paying WWE $1.6 billion for the rights to the pay-per-views. So, basically, the pay-per-views, as of right now, are exclusively on Peacock in the United States. The pay-per-views outside of the United States are being occupied exclusively by Netflix. Netflix made a big deal with WWE. They got Monday Night Raw in the U.S. and all across the world, pretty much. They got Monday Night Raw. But when it comes to the pay-per-views, they were not able to acquire the pay-per-view rights to WWE because in the United States, at least, because in the United States they already had a deal with Peacock until 2026. So this deal was done back when Vince McMahon was still around and was in control of the company. Peacock basically is the reason why the WWE Network was gone from the U.S. For a while. So the WWE Network was around everywhere across the United States, and all over the world. And basically, I think it was 2021. I don't remember, though. It may have been sooner than that, I think. It was 2021. I don't remember why I'm thinking that. But basically, Peacock made the deal with WWE to shut down the WWE Network and basically merge it into Peacock. And that was only for the U.S. It was not for international. So international had the WWE Network for a couple more years before, of course, the deal happened last year with Netflix, where Netflix got the Raw rights all across the world, got the pay-per-view rights internationally because they had the WWE Network still, and that's why they had Netflix. That's why Netflix was able to get the pay-per-view rights, but not in the United States because Peacock had already had that deal that Vince McMahon had given them for 2026. And now that deal is about to expire. And this is where people were wondering if Peacock was going to get an extension for the pay-per-view rights, since they still currently occupy SmackDown now. And they still have the SmackDown library. But that didn't happen. And I had heard about a month ago that Peacock was trying really hard to extend the pay-per-view rights. To continue keeping them in the United States, but apparently that was on deaf ears, unfortunately for them, because ESPN got it for $1.6 billion, which is insane in itself. Now, there's a lot of issues with this. I know a lot of people, the biggest issue that fans are talking about is one thing, which I'll get to in a second. But the first issue, really, because there's a lot of issues with this, like, what's going to happen to, like, all the past pay-per-views? So, if you don't know, if you're not from the United States, and you're outside of the United States watching this video right now, you probably will have a different perspective on this because you have Netflix for pay-per-views. But for Peacock right now in the United States, the way it works right now is Peacock basically has every pay-per-view, like all the pay-per-views from like WWE. And I think they even have some stuff from NWA. I really haven't watched a lot of the stuff on there because I kind of just rather, if I want to watch a pay-per-view, I'd rather just pull in one of the old DVDs that I have because I still got a bunch of DVDs. Not that many, but I still got a bunch of docs and some other stuff. And honestly, I would rather just get the old DVDs. This is why I wish WWE would just bring back DVDs again to release. So WWE pay-per-views, like, I don't know what's going to happen to them. Like, all those going to ESPN? Like, are all the WrestleManias, all the Survivor Series, all the SummerSlams, all the other pay-per-views, are they all going to ESPN? Or what's going to happen to all of them? Like, that's one of the gray areas for content-wise is, like, where are all those things going for people that want to watch them on the streaming service? Are you still going to be able to watch them on Peacock, all the past stuff? Or is that going to go to ESPN as well? So that's one thing, because right now Peacock currently has all that stuff in the U.S. Now, I know Netflix has all that internationally. So that wouldn't affect people internationally because they're still going to have that on Netflix. But this is a big gray area on what's going to happen with the contents. Now, another issue that I'm trying to figure out, because I have not gotten a actual solid answer on this issue, and maybe someone in the comment section might be more knowledge of this. So ESPN's service is basically $30. So if you want the WWE pay-per-views in 2026, you're going to have to pay $30 a month. Now, you can cancel at any time. So you can cancel like every month. So if you want like WrestleMania, but then you don't want like the next pay-per-view after WrestleMania, like Backlash or something, that you can cancel that and just be like done with it after that. You can do that. So it'll be one-time payment, which would be kind of going back to the old school thinking of how you do pay-per-views, because you didn't buy every pay-per-view every month with subscriptions. You just like decided if you wanted to buy a pay-per-view, it's $50, and you just pay it. And if you don't want the next pay-per-view, you just don't pay for it. That's kind of the idea you might have to do here with ESPN. But there is a gray area because I'm hearing from different people, like I've seen a couple different social media posts on this, and I can't get a concrete answer from this, is that apparently if you still have cable or satellite, now, again, I know some people that are watching this might not have cable anymore. I know that's been a running joke in some of the comment sections, but yes, guys, there are people that still have cable and or satellite. I myself do still have cable, though I do have only the Pick 15 on Spectrum. Because let's face it, there aren't that many channels that I really need to watch. There aren't that many channels I need to watch. And that's not counting the local channels, by the way. When you have the Pick 15, basically you pick 15 channels that are eligible that they allow you to pick. And pretty much most of the channels that I pick are just channels that I mostly watch. Some of them I don't even watch that much, and I only watch them at a certain point during the season. One of them being ESPN. I only really watch ESPN during football season. I don't really watch it during the off season, but I will watch during football season because, sports channel. Okay, so I have ESPN as one of my channels. So one of the things that the social media posts are saying is that if you have cable and you have ESPN, then you get the service for free. Now, I'm sure that's not true. I'm sure there's more to it than that. But some of these social media posts are very vague on the way they're wording it, and I'm trying to figure that out because when I was looking on my Spectrum website, they were showing add-ons that you can add on, like streaming services or whatever. And one of the things that popped up on Spectrum was ESPN Plus, which says $11.99, which would of course be cheaper than this ESPN streaming service that's supposedly being launched, because this is supposed to be a new streaming service altogether. But I'm not really familiar with the legalities of these services because I I only have a couple services. I have Hulu. My mom currently has Amazon Prime, which is what I'm currently using to watch Batman Cape Crusaders. I got Hulu. Um, but yeah, that's the thing. Like, I can't even think of what it. Like, I don't like. I heard that they had an ESPN Plus a couple years ago, but I never paid attention because I never cared. Like, and unfortunately, and again, this is going back to, football. It seems like the NFL is trying to do this bullshit too, where they're trying to, like, which we'll get to that in another video, but they're trying to, because I am a football fan, they are trying to really force everything on streaming, which I don't like. I don't like that. I rather have it on regular TV, especially the NFL, being on regular TV, because most of that stuff's on local stations. Which to a certain extent, it will always be on local TV because obviously they have the local market contracts, but that's going to be another issue. And again, I'll be talking about that in another video. But with WWE right now, it's I just don't know. Like I said, I don't exactly know. Now, of course, we also know that starting on SummerSlam, that movie theaters are also going to have WWE being carried as well. So there is that as well. So there is the possibility that, if you don't want to watch it, you can just watch it in the movie theater. I don't know how much it's going to cost in the movie theater. It might just cost them out the same amount of money as it would cost for a monthly subscription. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. I did not look to see because I had no plans on going to the theaters for SummerSlam. But that is a possibility for people that just want to just watch one of the events. Now, so another thing that's coming up here, but again, I don't know. I'll have to look more into this. If you guys know more information about how the cable thing works, if it's an add-on or if it does come, I have no idea. I honestly have not paid attention to that. I didn't even know that was a thing, to be completely honest with you. Maybe I've been just getting ripped off all these years because I do pay for some streaming services like Crunchyroll. I mean, my mom is paying for Prime, but I'm paying for Hulu, which she uses my Hulu, and I use her Prime. So we kind of do that because you could still kind of do that with those things. But Hulu's being merged with Disney Plus. So, which gets me into my other thing is, so people have been asking me, well, do you think ESPN, which is majority owned by Disney, do you think ESPN Disney is going to force WWE to tone down the product? And my answer to that is no. And here's why. Because people seem to forget that ESPN already carries UFC. Which is also owned by the same people that own WWE. Endeavor owns UFC. They own WWE. They currently are under the same umbrella under TKO. So do I think they're going to be forced to tone down the product? No. As I mentioned earlier, Hulu is being morphed into Disney Plus because they finally solely own Hulu. So you knew the time was coming, but They had to wait a long time because they paid a lot of money for the Fox property company. But you knew the time was coming that they were going to finally get Hulu and merge it all together with Disney, which is what they're doing. Now, to my understanding, in Europe and pretty much outside of the United States, any country outside the United States that has Disney Plus pretty much already has mature content on Disney Plus. Okay, they already do. It's called the Star section. There is a Star section that basically carries mature stuff. Now, this is non-existence in the United States version of Disney Plus, but that's going to be changing soon because Hulu again is going to be merged into Disney Plus. And once that is merged into Disney Plus, which again, I don't know what's going to happen because I'm still paying for Hulu right now. So who the fuck going on with that right now and how that shit's going to work out. But anyways, to my understanding, when that ever merges with Disney Plus, basically they're going to introduce the Star section in Disney Plus like they do outside of the United States. So Hulu is essentially going to become Star within the Star Plus within Disney Plus. That's basically what it's going to be, and that's where the mature content is going to be. Content will be going forward. So that's basically what's going to happen there. So if people are concerned that Disney is going to force WWE to tone down the blood and stuff like that, which WWE doesn't use that blood that much. The only time when they actually do real blood is when, you know, it's needed for the storyline, like with Gunther, for example. You know, so they don't even really do that much blood. They only do it when it's necessary. They're not AEW that's doing it all the goddamn time in every match, or try to do it in every match. They're not AEW. They're not that type of wrestling. You know, WWE only does it when they feel like it needs it, or if they legitimately get busted open for real, because that is possible in WWE. But like I said, I don't think it's going to. I don't like if WWE decides to censor stuff. I don't think it's going to be because of Disney. You know, I don't think it's going to be because of Disney. Because again, they don't do it in UFC. They don't censor. ESPN already carries UFC, and they don't censor UFC. They don't censor the fighters to not like talk like in, you know, immature manners. They don't do that. So if they don't do it with UFC, I don't see why they would do it for WWE. So I don't think that's going to be it. Like, I think that's the least of my worries. I honestly think that's the least of my worries about ESPN carrying WWE. You know, because I don't think you're going to see the ESPN people involved in WWE because they're just doing the pay-per-views. I don't think you're going to see Stephen A. Smith. I mean, he might be in the stands though, but I don't think you're going to see Stephen A. Smith coming on WWE and being like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to analyze these fights now, these wrestling matches now." No, I don't see that happening. It might happen. It'd be actually kind of funny now thinking about it if Stephen A. Smith did come on, but I don't think that happens. I really don't. I don't think that's going to have influence. WWE has their own people. You know what I'm saying? WWE has their own people. They got their own people that they put on the shows. They don't need that. They got Pat McAfee already before he was even a part of ESPN. And obviously he's not there right now, but he'll be back. He'll be back to do commentating at some point. So you got Pat McAfee already. So I don't see any of that happening. I really don't. ESPN is just carrying it. Just like how Netflix is just carrying it. Just like how Peacock is carrying it. Like, that's what they're doing. They're carrying it. Now, will we see sponsors for it? Probably. But that's probably all. That's probably the least of my worries. In terms of, again, the pay-per-view aspect of the subscription, yeah, I am concerned about that. because honestly, I really don't want to pay no $30. The $11.99 ESPN Plus thing, yeah, as I say, even if it was $11.99, because that's what the add-on says right now. When I went on the Spectrum website for my package deals where I can add stuff on, that sounds a lot better than fucking the $11.99 sounds a lot fucking better than that sounds better than doing the stupid $30. So even if it was $11.99, I would be okay with that too. Because that's basically what I'm paying right now in Peacock. Because I have Peacock, I pay like $10.99 for it. It was $7.99, but it went up to $10.99 a couple months ago. So Peacock, which I'm paying $10.99 for a month, that which I pretty much only use for WWE, by the way. I don't even use it for anything else. Really. I mean, I've occasionally watched movies on there, but I don't really, there's not really much on Peacock, honestly. WWE was probably the thing. WWE was the calling card for Peacock. So, I don't, yeah, I don't, yeah, I don't know. I probably won't. Because I already have cable, so I can watch SmackDown at any time. It's on television. SmackDown's still on television. It's the only one that's still on damn television. Raw's not on television anymore. So yeah, I mean that's the thing. I think, I mean I already heard people are gonna try to use VPNs or all that other shit, that they want to use VPNs or even worse than that. But I've heard people are gonna do that. I mean, whatever, you know, you know. I don't know. I mean, I just think like I don't know because like if it's $30, I don't really. I rather just go to the theaters at that point because they're supposedly gonna have the theaters and pay per view. Maybe even the bars will have them now because before the WWE Network they used to have them like at like wing bars and shit like that. So like you go to like a sports bar for example, which has food and stuff like that. No, I do not go there to drink because I am straight edge. But like at the sports bars, they used to have like, the fucking TV screens and shit like that. But they stopped that with WWE Network. They probably have those again. I could probably get some chicken wings. Maybe Buffalo Wild Wings will have them again. I don't know. I'd have to check that though. Again, there are other options to go see this like event besides just on ESPN because again, you could go to like a sports bar that has the TVs. If you don't drink alcohol like I do, because I only drink apple juice and water, you can always just get food there because they usually have food at Buffalo Wild Wings or some of these other places that carry them, assuming they have them again. Because I don't know, I haven't been there in a long time. I don't know. There was just some bad omens going to Buffalo Wild Wings for the sporting events because that was the one where Undertaker lost the streak. Yeah, I went to Buffalo Wild Wings the night Undertaker lost the streak. Like, I went there to watch the pay-per-view. And I was shocked. I had it recorded. I think I took the video down. I took the video down a while back. But for people that did see that video, like, I was just like, I was shocked. I was speechless. Because I still couldn't process what just happened when when Lesnar won that match. Like, I couldn't even process it. But yeah, I don't know, man. That was some bad omen. That was I think the last one they did because that was once the network was fully taking over at that point. But they might do it now because everything's different now. Um, but yeah, I remember that's insane. Yeah, but there are other options because again, they have the movie theaters where they're carrying the pay per views now. Like starting this past SummerSlam, they started. I don't know what they were doing this month. I'd have to look at my local movie theaters that are doing it, but they are doing it now. They are carrying them now. So that is another possibility. But I think one of the biggest things I think, and shout out to Gemini, who actually made a video talking about this, and he explained why, it's not as bad as people think it might be, and that's because if you lived in the '90s or even in the 2000s, you would remember that pay-per-views went for $50, and you either got it or you didn't. Um, so if that's the case, when it comes to this ESPN service, you could just buy a month subscription and then just cancel it for the next month. If you only want to watch certain amount of pay-per-views a year, that's kind of one way to approach it. That's one way to approach it, is just kind of go okay, I'm gonna get it here, but then I'm gonna cancel it for next month, and then just go from there. You know what I'm saying? That's one way to go about it. I don't know if that's the best thing to say, because again, there's still not as much things out there. Again, I heard posts from people that are claiming that the cable carriers are going to have it if you have cable. But I'm still skeptical on that because I haven't seen anything saying that otherwise. And if anybody has more details on that, let me know, because I'm still kind of honestly confused on that. But yeah, I don't know right now, guys. I'm kind of indifferent right now. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure to comment, rate. If you like this video, my videos, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell for the latest content. Thank you, and that's about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace. Also, make sure, besides my YouTube channel, to follow the Instagram, follow the Twitch, follow the Discord, or join the Discord. We talk about various discussions, including this discussion here. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Now I'm out. Peace.